on the campus of Northern Michigan University in Marquette. Welcome to Football Week in Michigan and the MHSAA 8-player football finals here on Fox Sports Detroit. Your championship game today in Division II, it's the Trojans of Forest Park taking on the Shamrocks of Portland St. Patrick. Welcome inside on a cold and blustery day here in the Upper Peninsula alongside Mike Ludlam, Mark Evans. Glad you could join us. Two very, very good and entertaining teams we're going to see.
Yes, one runs the football much more than the other one. It appears from the statistics we have seen for Forest Park. Peter Ropiak is a key player for them. He missed the first few games with a foot injury. He has come back in a big way, not only running the football, but he was also the Upper Peninsula Defensive Player of the Year in 8-man football.
High school is so important at the quarterback position, and we take a look at Portland St. Patrick. They've got a good one.
Tanner Lawson stands big in the pocket at 6'3", and he will definitely be the passer to get the ball to the receivers when they do choose to throw the football.
We talked about this earlier in the afternoon. Is the indoor factor going to be a part of it? Because these kids are so used to playing outside in the cold.
Especially the last 3 weekends of the year. Snow in the Upper Peninsula, maybe not so much in the Lower Peninsula. I always wonder if fatigue will be a factor.
One of these teams is far, far from home. They're the home team. That's St. Patrick. The visitors are actually from down the road in Crystal Falls. But there's some of the Shamrock supporters, and the Trojans are ready to go. Division II coming up here on Fox Sports Detroit. We are just about set to get this Division II 8-player championship game underway from the Superior Dome in the Marquette. You see a lot of black and red on the far sideline. That is the folks from Crystal Falls and that area down to support their Forest Park Trojans. Beneath us in all green, the St. Patrick Shamrock faithful. A battle of 9-2 against St. Patrick 11-1. The ball is on the tee, and Jeff Davlin is about ready to put a toe into it, and he does. And it is deep. It'll be Forest Park fumbling the football here and finally moving upfield. And breaking free go the Trojans and out towards midfield in the 44-yard line. A great return. And pulling it out of the mix is 16 Nathan Johnson. And that's where we start for the Trojans of Forest Park. As they won the toss, Mike Ludlam, and said, we want the ball.
Because they want to control the football as often as possible. They know that Portland and Dave Graff right there on the Trojans sideline, they want to control the football, hog the ball.
And they have an interesting look of formation, shotgun, direct snap, and back they go. And straight up the cut goes Forest Park, and not afraid to run right at you. Connor Bordolini is the ball carrier there. You're going to see some different formations in this ball game from both of these teams. Not a lot of spread. We're going to see a little bit of run from everybody. But just when you least expect it in this 8-man game, Mike, everyone will head to the air.
Oh, that's right. And just down in distance, all that kind of information. And Bordolini ready to take the snap again.
And again, direct snap to him, and he bounces off the pile, cuts to the sideline. He's thrown out of bounds after a first down for Forest Park. And to the 40-yard line of Portland St. Patrick. You see the Shamrocks down there in all green. Had a chance to catch up with their coaching staff, and they are having a ball here on this trip. And we chatted to these gentlemen, all smiles about what their team has done and the fact they have this opportunity in front of them.
Yep, Patrick Russman in his 11th season with a 69-42 record.
So Bordolini again, direct snap here for Forest Park, not wasting any time, and he just cuts up left, got a great block, and he's through to the open field to the 20, to the 15. Can they drag him down? Yes, they will, out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. He's deceivingly quick, Mike. He gets that second level of energy as he gets past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he's following Pete Ropiak right up the middle. And a good block, and all of a sudden it's, can we push him out of bounds soon enough? Will Simon doing the job for the Shamrocks.
So Forest Park from about 90 minutes down the road. The Crystal Falls area of the Upper Peninsula, and Bortolini once again, it's been his show so far, and he cuts ahead to the 5-yard line. That's going to be shy of the first down, but setting up the Trojans in great position here in the early going. Mike, we're a minute in our first scoring opportunity for the visitors.
Well, let's put it this way. The Forest Park quarterback hasn't even stepped on the field yet.
And it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. As it is a snapback again. Bortolini's wrapped up beautifully. The St. Patrick defense figured this one out. He'd gone left, this time cut right, and they were able to track him down. Big on the play. Number 34 is Isaiah Smith. You see him there on your screen for St. Patrick.
I think Forest Park is showing some looks that Portland St. Patrick did not see in other video right now, so they're trying to catch up on the fly.
So Connor Bortolini again will line up in that wildcat position. More of a shotgun now. He is waiting for the snap from center on a 3rd down play. He's in the end zone in a Forest Park touchdown. Took less than 2 minutes to get our first score here in the Superior Dome, and it's the 9-2 team that grabs the early lead.
Well, all you have to do, if you have a chance to look at the roster, only one player for Portland St. Patrick is above 200 pounds, and that's Colin Pline. He's 5'10", 255, a senior lineman. Forest Park has at least half a dozen players above 200 pounds, and they're going to pound the rock.
Riley Hendrickson split out top here for Forest Park. Make that Josh Logan, number 7, as one more time for Bortolini. That was easy, 8-0 Forest Park.
Wow.
So the Trojans trying to make a statement here early. Make it 8-0, 10-13 to go here in the opening quarter. This 8-man game can be a literal run and shoot type of offense, and that's what we saw in the opening drive for the Trojans.
Excellent execution. Lyman won the battle in the line of scrimmage, and when you can do that, you can move the ball downfield with ease, and they just did.
Well, teams that like to run the ball straight forward generally have an advantage here. 6 plays, 55 yards. Bortolini make it a 5-yard touchdown run, but he also had 55 yards in the drive.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that start.
Well, 8-0 for the Trojans, but again, so much football to be played here in this Division II championship game here. We talked a little bit about the offense for St. Patrick. Tanner Lawson with a chance to get out on the field. His size is a real advantage for him at 6'3", 165. He's got that height that you look for in a quarterback, and we'll get the St. Patrick offense out here in just a moment, but a little bit shell-shocked there wearing green here on that opening drive.
Well, Forest Park doesn't really make it much of a secret what they're going to do. They will run the football as often as possible, and when you don't even bring your quarterback on the field, that changes the odds even more.
Good look at Jacob Peterson there. He's one of those 200-pounders that Mike was alluding to, 5'11", 205. He is a junior. And Forest Park going to kick this one off as they grab the early lead on St. Patrick. Ball is in the air. It's a big, big kick. That'll be grabbed at the 10-yard line. And upfield they go. Here is Schneider looking, waiting. Really not much there, but white jerseys got to the 26, Mike. That's where Portland St. Patrick will take over. And we talked about their quarterback Lawson. Here's a chance for him to get things rolling, get back in this football game.
By far, Portland St. Patrick will pass more than Forest Park. If that is not the case, I will be incredibly surprised by that, as you see Schneider looking for a running lane and finding lots of white jerseys in front of him.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Shamrocks. They get a long way from home in this one here. Forest Park leading 8-0. And a spread offense of sorts here. They're going to go with the wraparound run, if you will. And that's going to be to Ned Smith, who's going to wind up losing a yard as they tried to go to the outside to the Shamrocks here on the Forest Park defense.
Well, speed is what Portland St. Patrick prides its offense on. They hope to be able to turn the corner, but unsuccessful on the first attempt.
Well, again, you know, the field is different dimensions here. It is narrower, but still 100 yards long. And we'll have those numbers for you a little bit later on, but it is a very interesting and fast-paced game that in some ways doesn't resemble its 11-man brother, and in some ways a lot like it. And Smith on the little turnaround now. Lawson's going to drop back and look. He's got a man open right here in the flat, and there it is, down to the 40-yard line. One man to beat. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Finally shoved out of bounds. Nice toss and catch. And upfield for Colin Cook on the reception. They're going to say he was out of bounds upfield at about the 43-yard line.
Certainly had time to throw, did Lawson, and able to pick out his receiver. And a 30-yard gain for the first down.
So a player pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock here. Forest Park, a short field and an opening drive of 55 yards. Takes that lead, and here come the Shamrocks quickly back the other way. Shotgun formation. And now two men in motion at the same time. Flags stay in the pocket as they move upfield. And getting free for a moment is Isaiah Smith. And he's down to the 20-yard line. Smith brothers moving. Isaiah Smith with a nice run.
Boy, that looked like the old Menominee spin series. If we really want to date ourselves, nice handoff, good blocking at the point of attack. And again, the lack of a tearaway jersey. Forest Park in business, Nathan Johnson on the tackle.
Well, you're going to hear Smith a lot. Both Ned and Isaiah run out of the backfield here for the Shamrocks. As we are now officially just 3 minutes into the ball game and already 8-0 Forest Park, and the Shamrocks making some noise on offense. Lawson, this is a designed quarterback run to the right side. He's going to get pushed out of bounds the 18-yard line. So a gain of about 3 here for St. Patrick's. And they'll move it that much further into Forest Park territory.
Turning the corner is obviously part of the St. Patrick philosophy, and getting the speed to do that. And Lawson was able to do that for a nice gain here.
It sits at the 19-yard line officially here for St. Patrick. Second down and officially 7 here. Lawson shotgun with 2 men split to the right side, now dropping straight back, gunning it. End zone. Got a man open up in the air. Caught. Touchdown. St. Patrick's. Will Simon. Number 2 at 6'2", 170. He goes up and gets it in traffic. And just that simple, Portland St. Patrick can now come down and tie the ball game.
Well, a 6-inch height advantage there for the Shamrocks. 6'2", 170 for Simon. Bortolini, 5'8", 150. Put the ball up in the air. Connor's not able to turn around, and Simon is able to say touchdown.
8-6, but the Shamrocks with the 2-point conversion try. And some fireworks here in the early going in this Division II 8-man championship game. Lawson straight back, looking, waiting, and he overthrew his man Smith here on the near side. Isaiah Smith open for a moment, but the 2-point conversion try no good, and Forest Park will hang on to a 2-point lead, and they'll get the football back here in the Superior Dome in just a moment. But again, fireworks up and down the field, kind of what we thought we'd see from these teams. They're both very, very explosive, very high-scoring teams.
Yes, and especially in the early going as they try and figure out what they were learning through scouting during the week. Now they see it in front of them. Now they make the adjustments, and we'll see what happens on the next drive.
So a nice response there by Portland St. Patrick, but they still trail here in the early going. Division II 8-man game. More in just a moment from Marquette here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Hey, it's my student A. Okay, time to go to college. How can I get started? Want to gain more knowledge, but I can't pay out of pocket. Call my student A's today, and we can get you on the way. If you really want it, all you gotta do is make a way. Looking for a scholarship, you trying to land some grants. Visit my student A, and we can help with that. My student A has the knowledge and tools to make college accessible, affordable for you.
Well, an 8-6 lead for those guys. The Forest Park Trojans over Portland St. Patrick. The Shamrocks just answering a touchdown to make it 8-6, missed the 2-point conversion try. Supporting your local teams has never been more fun or rewarding with the free Battle of the Fans Check-In Champ from the MHSAA. Download Check-In Champ from your app store, then attend games, check in, earn points, and win up to $2,000 in college scholarships thanks to My Student Aid. Download Check-In Champ today. Great start for both these teams, Mike. Shamrocks just answering with a 73-yard drive of their own.
In just 5 plays, and the 19-yard touchdown pass from Lawson to Simon. And now St. Patrick has its confidence on the offensive side. Now let's see if they can get some confidence on the defensive side.
Well, Forest Park really did a nice job in that opening drive. You see Calvin Post, number 15, dropping back in coverage here for the Trojans.
He'll be joined by number 2, Riley Hendrickson.
And now the two deep men, if you will, are moving way up to around the 20-yard line, rather.
Well, look at the football.
Okay, it is more of a squib or a helicoptering kick that they're going to let go out of bounds, and that'll throw the flag, and that'll give Forest Park good field position. They laid the ball on its side and actually kind of helicopter kicked it into the Forest Park half of the field. And the Trojans just watched that trickle out of bounds. Now, from where you're looking at right now, the field may look just a little bit different. It is 100 yards between the goal lines, but 40 yards wide, so just outside the numbers on the field. You see that white line on your screen. That's actually the out-of-bounds line. Offensive lines consist of 2 guards and 1 center. You have 5 players that must be on the line of scrimmage and 3 eligible receivers. Those are the base rules for the 8-man game. A narrower field, and in some instances a shorter field, but not here at the Superior Dome. This is the regulation 100 from side to side as you see it, but you'll notice the much shorter sidelines here, much narrower field. As we're right back at it, this is how Forest Park started the game with Connor Bordolini. This time not much there. The Shamrock defense tightening it down here with 8:29 to go here in the first quarter.
Now that St. Patrick has seen Forest Park's offense once, they can figure out a little faster if Bordolini will get the ball or will it go somewhere else.
Well, he's lined up again. Right hash mark here for the Trojans. They set the stack, and here's Bordolini. Nice opening to the left side. First down and more. Lowers the shoulder again, and he's got almost a 20-yard gain. And the defense got there a little bit late here for St. Patrick, but finally Ned Smith got there defensively to make the play, or Bordolini's got himself a long touchdown run.
Well, Connor's not afraid to lower the shoulder, and leverage is a key thing, and nicely done there, and pretty well there to get an extra yard at the end.
2 drives, and now the second time into the Shamrocks' end of the field. Forest Park enjoying that 2-point lead right now, and now under center is Tommy Peltima, the quarterback, to go back to more of a base look here with Peter Ropiak. And Peter Ropiak gains a couple. We talked about him in the open. He's one of these guys they'll lean on tonight.
Yes, didn't play right away in the regular season due to a foot injury. Came back into the lineup, and all of a sudden the defense was a lot better for Forest Park.
And now that standard look with the quarterback Peltima coming in under center. Tight lineup behind him. They draw it back, and falling forward again is Ropiak. So Bordolini gets the opening couple of drives, couple of plays. Now Pete Ropiak, the senior, 6 foot 185, but he's also a strong 185.
And Bordolini coming back into the game as we go to 3rd and 4 on the 39.
So we go for a little bit of a change up here. So mixing up the offense, Bordolini's going to stand in the backfield, and it'll be a direct snap once again, and he looks right. He's got an opening through the pile, and another Forest Park first down as he's down to the 33-yard line of St. Patrick.
Linemen are certainly winning the battle at the line of scrimmage for Forest Park at this time.
Running game for both is going to keep this clock moving once they set the chains on the far sideline. Trojans break the huddle at the 33. Single receiver split out to the top, and Logan, number 7. And Bordolini again. And this time looking for the run to the left. Bordolini off the direct snap's got an opening, got a block. Up the field he goes, they won't get him. That's another Forest Park touchdown. Hold the phone, flag just blew in.
Might have been a little holding by Evan Hedke as the flag was sitting right next to him.
Well, Bordolini just took off, got a great block upfield, maybe too good of a block.
Possibly the case, yes. I'm getting the holding signal by my referee friend Don Gustafson of St. Ignace on the MHSAA Representative Council, and that one is coming back.
So where they spot the football is going to be interesting, and where that play actually happened. This could still be a Forest Park first down. It won't be. It'll be first down at about 3 or 2. So the second touchdown for the Trojans taken off the board due to the holding penalty, as Josh Logan comes in with the play from the sideline. And so far it's been Bordolini left, Bordolini right, and that's all they've needed so far, and he's in the direct snap again. Drop back, Bordolini, not a lot there this time. Good looking tackle. Paul Cook, number 7, coming in from behind the play, and that is going to be a Forest Park first down, but they held him to the low yardage on this one.
Yeah, Cook looked like he was almost a shadow on that play as opposed to playing a certain position. Right now his job may be to find where Bordolini is going and following.
23-yard line of the Shamrocks. Forest Park with that early lead, 8-6 as you see. And the clock goes back in motion for the Trojans. Bortolini out of the direct snap one more time. They stack the line to the right side, and that's the direction he's looking. Bortolini got through the first tackle and just driving bodies back for a gain of about 8.
Cook missed a shoestring tackle just beyond the line of scrimmage, and Bortolini took advantage.
We're already halfway through this opening quarter. Superior Dome and Marquette, the lone UP representative to the 8-man championships, Forest Park, and they're enjoying an 8-6 lead and a Shamrock timeout. Might just want to see what they can do defensively here to slow this direct snap down. Like you said, Mike, I'm not sure they were expecting this.
Forest Park did not show this every time this season. I mean, certain teams they did, certain teams they didn't, and right now the Shamrocks are having troubles figuring it out.
Well, daily features and great coverage of postseason tournaments can be found every day on the second half page of the MHSA website. Check out the Performer of the Week, learn about the history of our games, catch weekly Coaches Association rankings, and a lot more. Click on second half from the homepage of the MHSAA website. Forest Park Trojans trying to get to 10 wins on the year and hoist a gold trophy for their efforts. The Shamrocks right now just answered with a touchdown of their own. But again, that defense kind of reeling a little bit on this offensive attack for Forest Park, as they just haven't had an answer for Bortolini just yet. Speaking of Forest Park, they are the only team from the Upper Peninsula here. The district right around the Crystal Falls area. They are in the Central Time Zone. To give you an idea of just how far in the western UP you can get, major center for iron mining and the timber industry, named for a nearby icy waterfall out of all things, the Paint River. They prefer to go by Forest Park instead of Crystal Falls Forest Park because the consolidation of the school district. Either way, slice it up. Those Trojans are having some success here on offense. Logan split out to the left side, everybody else in tight. Bortolini off the direct snap again to the line, driven back and driven down. And this is going to be the first third down in a while here for Forest Park.
Brett Weller with a nice tackle filling the hole for St. Patrick.
No gain on the play. Can't say that too often for Connor Bortolini, the way he's been running the football here so far for the Trojans in this football game. Clock stays in motion, 8-6. Trojans have the lead, looking for more. It'll be Logan out to the left, 3rd and short. Direct snap back to Bortolini, 1st down and more, right through a big hole. He got to the secondary quick, and he's finally slowed down at the 6-yard line.
As you said, Mark, a big hole, and it's not too hard to find when you have a good 3 feet to run through at least.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to this offensive line of Forest Park. They're really blowing things up. And the Shamrock faithful underneath us have kind of sat back down. And a little quiet here as Forest Park moving the football. Bortolini again, not much there. He maybe got a yard, Mike.
Isaiah Smith coming across to make the stop. Just interesting to see how fast the Shamrocks can adjust to this, what appears to be unexpected look from the Trojans.
2 drives, and Forest Park has used their quarterback, Peltema, twice. Bortolini ahead to the goal line, trying to reach in. Touchdown, Trojans. And we've seen that all afternoon. He just kept his feet rolling, kept pushing the pile. And Bortolini's in for another one here for Forest Park, and they'll try the 2-point conversion, already now up 8.
Well, he gained more than 1,700 yards this season with 20 touchdowns just in the rushing game alone, so he knows where the end zone is.
And not afraid of contact. Bang, right there, and just kept the legs churning. Now 3 Shamrocks unable to keep him out of the end zone, and 2 drives, 2 scores for Forest Park, and they'll line up for the 2-point conversion try.
With the quarterback.
That's right, Peltema is in. And they're going to pitch. And straight to the line and in. Very little trouble for Ropiak. And just like that, it is a 10-point lead for Forest Park as the Trojans 2 for 2 with the 2-point conversion tries.
It was such a quick pitch that Peltema even had a chance to block somebody from the Shamrocks on that play.
So Forest Park really flexing some muscle here in this early part of the ball game. But as we saw earlier today, 10-point lead doesn't mean a whole lot. in our Division I game where Deckerville had a 10-point lead over Central Lake. Central Lake came back and took the hardware in that football game. So we've got a lot of football left to be played.
Dave Graff on the Forest Park bench. Long-time assistant coach to Bill Santilli before taking over.
11 plays, 65 yards, and Bortolini his second score, 6 yards out for this one. As now the Forest Park defense going to try and buckle things down a little bit. They gave up the touchdown, able to stop the 2-point conversion try of St. Patrick just a little bit ago. And now they'll kick off to the Shamrocks with 4:32 to go here in this opening quarter.
Yeah, Forest Park is not known for its kicking game. They have had a few kickers over the years, but I don't think you're going to see much more than kickoffs and punts today out of the Trojans.
Well, they just announced that Zach Robarge, who's listed as number 27, but wearing number 33 apparently, as he'll be doing the kicking for Forest Park. And he will blast this one. And that looks to be flirting with the sideline. It is out of bounds. So Schneider let that one go, and that'll give Portland St. Patrick pretty good field position to start things off on this drive. They look good in that opening drive, Mike. The only thing that came up short was that 2-point conversion. They moved the ball well.
And if you watch 8-man football enough, the 2-point conversion can be a big deal. Forest Park was able to get into this game 36-34 over Pickford, so the defense came up with one play more than the Panthers defense did.
35-yard line, that's where it'll start here for Portland St. Patrick. Down now 10. As the faithful from the Shamrocks down underneath our side of the Superior Dome. Not a lot of life right now, kind of sitting waiting for something good to happen. Lawson off the snap, they're going to give to Smith, and he gets rattled down for a loss of 8 right off the bat.
Ropiak cut right through the line of scrimmage and saw that counter play look and just buried him.
Ned Smith on the carry, if you can even call it that, as he never really had a carry. As soon as he got the handoff, he was getting blown up backwards. That's 2nd down and 16, and a big loss here for the Shamrocks on that play. It'll put the ball at the 29-yard line now. As you get a good look there at Ropiak, and now the Shamrock offense out of the shotgun they'll go. Tanner Lawson waits, now drops straight back. Looking across the middle, had a man wide open, overshot him by about 10 feet, and a flag flies in. Oh my.
No.
That ball was a very, very high throw. And now they're going to talk this one over whether or not that was catchable or not. And they're going to call pass interference. You're going to get a look at this one and just how much over the receiver this ball is. I mean, you don't even see the receiver in the screen. And the flag got thrown. So a break there for the Shamrocks, and that's going to give an automatic first down. Marks it all the way out to the 44-yard line. It does not give them the first down. I stand corrected. It is 2nd down and very, very short.
Because they had 16
to
go.
Lawson under center. And they're going to give to Smith. First Smith through the pile is Isaiah Smith. And he'll have himself a Shamrock first down as they approach midfield. So stop the clock here, set the chains, then we'll put things back in motion with Shamrocks again moving the football.
Getting some good momentum off of that penalty to keep the drive going.
16-6, Forest Park, 2 drives, 2 scores, 2 2-point conversion tries. Shamrocks trying to answer for the 2nd time here in this football game. Lawson in under center with the Smith brothers behind him. And it's a pitch to Ned Smith, looking left. Not much there. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was strung out pretty nicely by the defense of Forest Park. They knew that one was going to go outside. They followed it for the ride.
And Zach Robarge was there to end any hope of a big gain on that play.
So 2nd down and 10. As the Shamrocks trying to take advantage of good field position, as you see Smith cutting up. And 4 white jerseys right there to string the play out to the side. So Tanner Lawson will duck in under center here on this 2nd down and 10 play for St. Patrick. Drops back, looks, here comes pressure. He got hit as he threw, and he threw over and behind the receiver. Will Simon made his cut right as the quarterback took a hit. And that'll be incomplete, bring up 3rd down and 10, and Lawson will come quickly to the sideline to get the next play.
Tommy Showers for the Trojans, raining on Mr. Lawson's parade.
So 3rd down and long here for St. Patrick. Get a look at this hit right as he threw the football. And the defender and the receiver overshot by about 15 yards. So a little bit of an extra discussion here as Paul Cook will join his quarterback and come into the play. Big play here in the early going here for the Shamrocks. They need to stay even apparently here with red hot Forest Park on offense. Lawson, Cook in motion. They fake the handoff. They actually collided a little bit. Looking, and over the top of everybody. And boy, they're just, if the quarterbacks are just a little juiced up here, Mike, or what's happened, but he's overshot most of his receivers here in this first part of the ballgame.
Dare I say, to use the Green Bay Packers reference, he's a little Brett Favre right now, wild and high.
Yeah, we'll see what the Shamrocks decide here, and they, I believe, are going to have to kick the ball away. Stepping in is Schneider. And do they line up in punt formation? Yes, they do. They drop back. That's going to be Colin Cook back to kick. And dropping deep, Hendrickson here for Forest Park. Don't see a lot of punts in the 8-man game. Snapback is a good one. It's a high wobbling kick. That's going to be fair caught at the 20. And that's where the Trojans will take over. They're 2 for 2 on offensive drives so far here in the Superior Dome. And this one with 2:23 to go. And they are looking to make a big statement heading towards the end of this first quarter. And the way they move the football with Bordolini, especially in that direct snap here, Mike, that might be tough to stop.
Well, you certainly don't want to change your formula when you're 2 for 2 on drives, and I don't see Forest Park doing that at the moment.
So they've got field position right outside the 20-yard line. Shamrock defense has not had an answer for that direct snap. But this time around, it will be Tommy Peltema. And a pitch to the left side. And straight up they go. And there's our man we talked about earlier, Ropiak up the sideline. He's got midfield, steps out of bounds in Shamrock territory at about the 47-yard line.
Just very simple stuff. Give it to Ropiak, follow the blockers, and just keep moving on down the field. Breaking a tackle, waiting for another block, and gets it right there from Evan Hedke. That's the way you play 8-man football when you like to run.
Well, a lot of green jerseys in on the play, but the problem for St. Patrick is all those jerseys were behind Ropiak, who's got it again. This time he cuts up the middle of the field, just dragging defenders with him. Another gain of 9, maybe 10 yards. As you see at the bottom of your screen, little toss and catch there with the quarterback situation at St. Patrick's. They took Tanner Lawson over the sideline and said, just throw for a while. Because he's got a great arm. He's had a great year, just for some reason not connecting in this first quarter so far. But he's a fighter. He'll be back. 2nd down and 9 here for Forest Park as they've had little problem moving the football here in this first quarter. Clock continues to roll. Pitch. Ropiak. 1st down as he's finally corralled after a gain of about 2, and that's really all he needed. That should stop the clock as we'll reset the sticks on the far side. And Forest Park moving the football again here, Mike.
Ropiak, as we mentioned, missed a couple games early in the season, but he ended up with 863 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. So once the injury healed, he's certainly been very busy.
So we'll keep Peltema in under center, stack the deck to the right-hand side, and this time they drop it back to Bordolini. First time he's had anything but a direct snap, and this one doesn't go so well with no gain on the play.
A couple of guys were able to avoid blocks that time. One of them, number 12, Zach Spitzley, sophomore.
Well, there's Bordolini so far. Get this, 16 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first quarter.
But it is 8-man football. That does happen.
It is 8-man football, but it's still the first quarter.
This is true.
I'm giving the young man his due. He's earned it. Here he goes again. Direct snap back to him. Tripped up as he got just past the line of scrimmage. He'll still gain about 5, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and manageable as we're under a minute to go here in this first quarter.
Isaiah Smith, part of the tackling committee there for Portland St. Patrick.
And again, that direct snap going very, very well for Forest Park. This time Bordolini got knocked down low.
Alex Cassane with that part of the hit.
Direct snap again. Bordolini's going to take this to the right side. He is out to a first down as he's dragged out of bounds right at the marker, Mike, but I believe they're going to give it to him. And with 21 seconds to go, Forest Park is moving again. The red zone is next as they're outside the 25-yard line. It is indeed a first down. You see the tackle made there by Alex Cassane. And the Trojans of Forest Park liking what they're seeing here on offense so far.
It's an interesting little logo on his shirt with the, looks like the football being thrown. They haven't done that yet.
I don't imagine much. Bordolini had a little bit of a seam. It closed quickly, but it's still a 4-yard gain. And that should be it for our first quarter. It's been explosive, to say the least. It can be a very, very high-scoring game when 8-man teams step out of the field. And looks like our Division II championship game is going to follow that script as we're at the end of 1 quarter of play. 2 touchdown drives, 2 two-point conversions for the Trojans, and they have got themselves a 10-point lead on the Portland St. Patrick's Shamrocks. 8-man Division II football continues from Marquette in a moment here on Fox Sports Detroit.
You're up. Yeah. So when he starts his motion, baseball and stuff like that, then I'm good with it. What are we doing tonight? Say it. Molding young men.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Welcome back to the Superior Dome on the campus of Northern Michigan University. This is the 8-man Division II final. Forest Park with a 16-6 lead over Portland St. Patrick. This week in high school sports features achievements by student athletes and teams from around the state each week. Gives you a taste of the art of officiating with its Be the Referee segment and helps get you your perspective right about high school sports with a closing commentary. This Week in High School Sports can be heard on over 100 radio stations and web audio outlets across the state and as a podcast on the homepage of the MHSAA website.
You take a look at the St. Patrick's Shamrocks right now. They've been moving the football on offense, have not had an answer yet for Forest Park. The Trojans, as we mentioned, leading by 10 and approaching the red zone once again. And running the football behind that two-headed monster there, Pete Ropiak, and also Connor Bordolini. Direct snap is Bordolini again, looks right, a little bit of a seam, got through, and there he goes. 10-5, touchdown Forest Park. There are no flags, and there appears to not be an answer just yet, wearing green for the direct snap to Bordolini.
23 yards on the score, and he already had more than 100 yards in the first quarter, 119, so he's racking up the yards at a pretty rapid rate.
He got through the line of scrimmage, Mike, and that was it.
Lots of frustration right now on the faces of the Shamrocks. I don't know if it's they can't find him. He's not the biggest running back in the world, but...
Well, Forest Park is doing what a lot of teams don't do, and they're running right at them. And now Bordolini to the outside, gets ripped down, but he landed
nice
just
tackle.
shy of the goal line. My goodness. Did not get in. As you say there, Spitzley came up and knocked him down, and that's a missed two-point conversion try. We'll see if that plays into the game later on, but it's 22-6 right now as you take a look at this great tackle. He fought off his blocker well.
And able to stop his momentum from getting in the end zone. Bordolini, when he gets hit, usually falls forward for a few more yards. Not that time.
So here comes the Shamrock offense. And they've moved the ball well. They've struggled to throw the football, which is something that's correctable. They were working with Tanner Lawson, their quarterback, down on the sideline, just getting him some repetitions, getting him some throws. And like you said earlier, we just, you get into a championship game and sometimes you're just a little bit amped up, and he was overthrowing everybody, and I'm sure he'll calm down and the coaching staff will handle that.
And just try and slow the speed of the game down for him.
80 yards in 8 plays, and look at that, Bordolini once again, 23 yards on the touchdown.
They're breathing hard, but they're breathing happy on the Forest Park sideline.
So Robarge again has this one on the tee, as we are just 6 seconds into this second quarter. here in Marquette. And he'll put a toe into this one. And Schneider comes down at the 15 and fakes the handoff. Nope, they didn't fake it. It's up the far sideline. They gave it instead to Paul Cook. He's got a good return out to the 31-yard line. Covered decently by Forest Park, and that is where St. Patrick will take over here on their third possession here of the football game.
Everybody's congratulating Robarge for kicking it down that far.
I believe he may have been in on the tackle as well. So the Shamrocks come from the sidelines now. Good field position to start off this drive at the 31-yard line of their own, but need some positive yards. Need good things to happen here on this drive, Mike.
I think they're surprised they're not running outside as well as they had hoped.
Well, Forest Park has been covering the Smith brothers quite nicely, as that's Isaiah Smith with not much there and a loss of a half a yard on the play. So they're trying to give Forest Park a little bit of what Forest Park has been giving them, run right at them, and the Trojans were ready for it.
Tyler Peltema, 6'3", 275, senior, and now on the tackle.
So second down and 10, they'll officially call it here for St. Patrick. As the play comes in with 11:24 and counting here in the second quarter.
Colin Cook on the far side of the field.
Need something positive to happen as they go out of the shotgun here with Lawson. Straight back, he's got good protection, guns it across the middle, just over the outstretched hands of Paul Cook, who broke in from the right side. That was a much better throw. However, it was also covered quite nicely by Forest Park.
Yeah, Riley Hendrickson was pretty close to step for step with Cook on that one.
So the brain trust right there, going to try and figure out what happens on third down and 10. You're in a position here, Mike, where you don't get this first down. It's going to have to be a punt, you would think, here for Portland St. Patrick. As you get a look at the Shamrocks offense. Opening drive was a good one. Since then, little bit of a sputter to the machine. They're going to split one man out to the right side and Colin Cook. Slot receiver to the right side as well, and out of the shotgun goes Lawson. Here comes pressure. They fight it off nicely. Lawson looking, sideline, just out of the hands of Colin Cook, and he missed a receiver high and wide. This is going to bring up fourth down, stopping the clock, and decision time. Actually, no decision at all. They're sending the kicking team in right away.
Had time to throw. That was a nice pattern by Colin Cook. Just couldn't quite get his hands on it.
So second punt of the ball game here for Portland St. Patrick. And that'll be Riley Hendrickson dropping back in coverage here for Forest Park. Pass back is a good one. And it's kind of a muff, and it's going to come to the near side. And Hendrickson just let it go, and look at this. Bouncing, rolling. And inside the 10. That's a 68-yard kick with the roll.
Considering he only kicked it about maybe 30 yards.
30 yards in the air. And it just rolled. So a nice break there for the Shamrocks, who needed one. And they're going to give Forest Park the longer field on a terrific roll off of that punt.
Well, now the Shamrocks defense needs to make a statement.
Long way to go in this one, but Forest Park 3 for 3 on scoring drives here so far in the ball game. So it's been the Connor Bortolini show so far. And he's lined up in the backfield again. Standing right back at his own goal line. And they go out of the direct snap. Low snap, bobbled the snap. Bortolini still juggling it, and he's lucky to get out to the 9-yard line. Still got positive yardage on what could have been a train wreck right there for Forest Park, but Bortolini stayed with the play. Get this, Bortolini's rushed for 142. St. Patrick collectively's rushed for 20. Does that give you an idea why we're at 22-6 right now?
A very good idea.
And like Mike had mentioned, you get a suspicion here that Portland St. Patrick may not have been ready for that offensive approach here by the Trojans.
Boy, if Bortolini would have caught that snap, I think he could have turned the corner.
Well, they may give him another shot at it right here. Direct snap, and they blow the whistles, and a timeout called by St. Patrick. That's going to be their second. Must have seen something offensively. Maybe they saw what we saw, that if he hadn't bobbled that ball, he'd be off to the races. So Forest Park, close to home here in the Superior Dome in Marquette, leading the home team in this one, Portland St. Patrick. by a count of 22-6. Take a look at some of the action here from Bordolini, which was a little bit more action than I think he was hoping for.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make anything too difficult right now, and was able to keep possession of the football.
And that brings up the good point here, too. You're just one mistake from jumping right back into this game if you're Portland St. Patrick, so you stay with it and keep going because, yeah, it's 22-6 right now. Bordolini fumbles that ball. He fumbled it into the end zone. He covers it, it's a safety. You cover it, it's a touchdown. So either way, it's a positive in your side.
And Patrick Russman trying to get his message across to everybody that, hey, we're not out of this game. We just need something a little bit better to happen, and we'll be right back in it.
So the Shamrocks have what they want on defense. And again, body language says a lot. We're not even to the 10-minute point of the second quarter, Mike, and that defense for Portland St. Patrick, hands on hips already. They need something good to happen.
Yep, several of them in the secondary trying to get their breath.
Direct snap, Bordolini, and he comes straight ahead, right at him. And he finally gets wrapped up. A nice play and tackle. Isaiah Smith stood him up for a gain of only about a yard. A stop here for Portland St. Patrick, Mike, is huge.
Oh, absolutely. They want to get the ball in the hands of their offense and would like to do it at nice field position, and they certainly have a chance to do that following that previous punt.
Well, yeah, that punt really changed the feel of this ball game, pinning Forest Park so deep as about a 68-yard kick. Granted, 40 of it on the ground, but they don't ask how, they ask how many. Big play here for Forest Park. Direct snap, Bordolini got away from one, not another. Flag flies in. This is going to come back on what appears to be a holding call anyway. So now if you're the Shamrocks, if you're given the option, do you decline the penalty and make it fourth down?
Yes. Shouldn't even be a question.
That's exactly what the call is. It is holding. They will decline. And that'll bring up fourth down for Forest Park, and there's no way they're going to go for it here in this end of the field with that 22-6 lead. Kick it away, let your defense do their thing.
Thomas Rao, by the way, is the referee for this contest. And the green and white would certainly like to get some good field position out of this.
So the first punt for the Trojans here. And the Shamrocks not dropping anybody back in coverage right now. As you see working upfield there, number 2, Will Simon, he now will finally drop back. And the kick is high in the air. Shamrocks getting as far away from it as they can. And it's going to take a Forest Park bounce and roll. And down to the 44-yard line. And that is where Portland St. Patrick will take over. So they're able to flip the field a little bit here, Mike, and hold the Trojans on defense. And now they'll get a crack at it from out here near midfield.
Now the big question is, when you're down 2 scores like this, it is 8-man football. You certainly don't have to panic and start throwing the ball all over the field. Can they establish their running game, or do they want to at this point?
Well, you're going to get your answer right here as the Shamrocks break the huddle. 22-6, they trail Forest Park. That was their first time with the football not scoring. Lawson with Smith in motion. They give to him. Isaiah Smith up ahead, turning the legs. Interesting play call, but it benefits them for 5 yards.
Yeah, I expect that you would think he would have broken that more toward the outside, but obviously it was designed to go inside. Followed his blockers nicely and picked up the better half of 5 yards.
Ball sitting just shy of midfield here. And just at the top of that Wildcat logo here at the Superior Dome at Northern Michigan. Smith in motion again. They fake to him, give to the second man through. That's Ned Smith. And that's going to be a loss on the play as the Forest Park defense sniffed that out right away. They went misdirection on a very slow developing play, Mike. That may have been part of the problem.
Well, Pete Ropiak figured, let's see if they take this another progression. They did. And Ned Smith did not have a chance to get anything established.
That drops it back to the original line of scrimmage and a loss on the play of 5. And back to the 44-yard line, it's going to go here for the Shamrocks. So they needed something good to happen. It did with that stop. They got Forest Park to kick the football, but now they're not moving the football themselves. Still a long way to go in this one as we approach the 7.5-minute mark of this second quarter. Lawson out of the shotgun. Smith joins him in motion. They fake to him, and flags fly, and illegal procedure is going to be called here against St. Patrick. That was a very, very late flag. But I'm thinking one of the men on the line actually moved. The player in motion's no problem.
Right.
But I think somebody on the line may have taken that extra step, and that's going to lose the Shamrocks 5 yards.
march that ball back 5 yards.
22-6, Forest Park.
The official has his steps a certain way, and it's a nice marching step.
Wind the clock, 3rd and 15. Tanner Lawson in with the play from the sideline. 6'3", 165, just a junior. And that's Isaiah Smith with him there in the backfield. Ned Smith dots the I behind as Lawson goes in under center. Here comes some pressure from the outside, trying to get away. He won't, and he's knocked back down to the 22-yard line. Loss on the play of just shy of 20 yards.
Good man-to-man coverage on the receivers. They had 2 in a pattern, but Forest Park had 4 people chasing down Lawson at that point, and guess who caught him first? Mr. Ropiak again.
4th down and 40 here, as it's just not going the right way here for Portland St. Patrick. And they have no choice but to kick this football away, as it'll be Henriksen dropping back once again in punt coverage for the Trojans. Snap back is a good one. It's a high helicoptering kick that Henriksen's going to grab right at midfield, and that is where Forest Park will take over. And you don't want to give them a short field, but that's exactly what happened. Both teams with good defensive stands here in this second quarter, but the field position is going to benefit Forest Park as they're going to take things over here at midfield. It is 22-6 right now, and the Forest Park Trojans looking for more. Again, 3 out of 4 so far scoring drives in this ball game. We'll see what happens when we come back. Forest Park up big here on Fox Sports Detroit. You're looking at the Forest Park Trojans. They hold a 22-6 lead over the Portland St. Patrick Shamrocks here in the Superior Dome in Marquette. Today's games kick off football week in Michigan. Watch your favorite high school, college, and pro Michigan teams compete during one exciting Thanksgiving week. It's only on the Fox family of networks. Defensively here, Mike Ludlam, Shamrocks have got to come up with an answer for that direct snap to Bortolini.
Absolutely. If they keep running that and they keep finding holes in the line, this could be a long afternoon for Portland St. Patrick. They need a solution as soon as possible.
Well, one of the things about 8-man football is you see Isaiah Smith right there. You know, he's one of their key players on offense, but he's also out there in defense. You see a lot of these guys going both ways, and fatigue starts to take over. This time it's a direct snap back to somebody else. Guess who?
Ropia.
Yeah, He doesn't get much, however, and there's that first stop that we're looking for Portland St. Patrick. Gain of only about 1.5 yards on that play. As you see, big number 55, Colin Pline, who was in on that tackle. You talked about that intense look. Doesn't get much better than that one right there, does it?
That's for sure.
All righty, 2nd down and long here for Forest Park. Under 6 minutes to go here till halftime. Direct snap back again. Ropiak straight up ahead. They don't have an answer for this one either, apparently, as he's down to the 40-yard line. So you go from the speedster in Bortolini to now more of the semi-tractor coming at you here in big number 13.
Made a couple of nice moves there. Made the first down by about 1/2 yard.
So moving the football again are the Forest Park Trojans with that lead already here in the football game. Single receiver out to the right. That's Josh Logan. Everybody else in tight on the formation.
Oops, there's 5 yards. Yep. Josh got started a little early.
Quite a bit more laundry in this one than I expected.
It's a timing thing. You're in a different atmosphere, different environment than you usually are during the season. It's indoors. I don't know if that's the world's greatest excuse or not, but yeah, we've had a few penalties, but nothing major.
So back to the 45-yard line now for Forest Park. Brings up 1st down and 15. Ropiak from the direct snap, straight up ahead. Got a seam, got a block, knocks his own man out of the way, and he's up just shy of a 1st down.
Now that's the most action that Josh Logan has seen today right there. Being in the right place at the wrong time or vice versa. Ropiak used him to his benefit to get the first down.
Or just shy of it, as you see him cutting upfield and looking for some help.
Yep.
And yeah, took out his own man. Tell you, Logan's not there, and that's a touchdown. Ropiak off the direct snap on second down and short. He's got the first down, diving to the 25-yard line. Goes Pete Ropiak.
And he made a very nice move to get away from at least one tackler, because it looks like he was going to be down before the line of scrimmage.
So that'll put the football at the 25, just outside. And you see the difference in the running styles between Bortolini and Ropiak. Obviously, there's a big size difference between the two. Hey, look at this. The quarterback's actually in the football game. Nope, straight back to Ropiak. I thought I saw someone ducking under center for just a moment. It was that wishful thinking. Another gain of 4 on the play here for Forest Park, as they're just chewing it up 4, 5, 6, 8 yards at the time.
And there's no reason to change that.
Tommy Pelton has been in for maybe a handful of snaps, their quarterback. But they haven't needed that, as Ropiak once again gets roped down, and you see 34 in there again. Isaiah Smith's had himself a busy afternoon. Not the way he had hoped, because his big plays have been on defense, as Ropiak gets to the line of scrimmage and thrown back, and a good number of Shamrocks in there. Spitzley in there to make the defensive play. Also Isaiah Smith, number 34, helping out on the tackle. No gain on the play, third down and about 6 here for the Trojans.
And Paul Cook joined it to make a trio on that tackle. Figured out that play. Now can they figure out the next one?
Well, now they shuffle the deck, and Bortolini comes back in here for Forest Park. And staying in, however, is Ropiak. So Ropiak looks to step in as possibly a blocker on this play. And it'll be direct snap again to Bortolini on third down and officially 5. Straight ahead, straight through he goes. Bortolini to the corner, to the 10. Can he cut back to the 5? Thrown out of bounds at about the 2. No, the referee that was knocked down actually has him spotted at about the 7-yard line. One of the officials, Mike, got wrapped up in that play, as you'll see this at the tail end of it, as Bortolini comes in. Players right here along the sideline. The St. Patrick player took out the official, who got up and made the call, bumped it back to the 7-yard line, but it's still first and goal here for Forest Park, and they're moving the football again.
George Pond. Yeah, that was George Pond, the official on the sideline. He does a lot of wrestling, so he should have been able to avoid that collision.
Well, again, body language says 1,000 words right there. Hands on hips, as Jeff Davlin and company reeling a little bit as the direct snap to Bortolini. Straight up he goes through the pile. Touchdown, Forest Park. And they make it 28-6 now with 3:42 to go in the opening half from Marquette. And the Shamrocks just do not have the answer here this afternoon.
Look of exasperation there on Alex Cassane.
As Bortolini didn't have much of a hole, didn't need one.
No, double teamed the block on Paul Cook, and path of the end zone.
2-point conversion try for Forest Park. As direct snap again, Bortolini. You keep expecting him to throw or something out of this, just doesn't happen. Turning those legs, doesn't get the 2-point conversion, stays 28-6. And the Shamrocks will get another opportunity to answer here on offense in just a moment, but got to find something that's going to work, because not much has so far, and give a lot of credit to the defense wearing red, black, and white. 8 plays, 51 yards, and we've seen Bortolini, a lot of it here, 7 yards on the touchdown run.
That was a key 2-point stop, though, for St. Patrick, because it keeps the margin at 22. Obviously, if that was good, it would have been a 24-point margin. Not only would they have had to score 3 touchdowns, but get 3 2-point conversions, or do it the hard way, 4 touchdowns.
Still a lot of football to be played in this one, but it has not gone the direction that we had assumed, simply because I think Forest Park came to the party with a different wrench in the toolbox that no one knew was in there, and that is Bortolini, who has been running the ball well all season, like you said, but that direct snap to him has taken this team by surprise.
Yeah, they've run it some during the season, but not a whole lot, and obviously they've been saving this one in their back pocket for a while.
So Schneider will drop back, and he'll be joined there by Paul Cook. And with the ball on the tee, Zach Robarge for the Trojans from Forest Park. Whistle blows. And we are set and ready to go. 3:42 to go, as a big booming kick will be to Schneider on the far side. And he'll keep it this time and fake the reverse. He's got a seam up the near side. Schneider with some speed to the sideline and down to the 39-yard line. And that brings the Shamrock faithful underneath us to their feet. As Portland St. Patrick will now start off with very good field position, Mike, at about the 38-39-yard line.
Evan Hedke with the tackle for the Trojans, and it looked like he would have been able to get a few more yards if Evan had not been on the scene.
So here's the deal here for Portland St. Patrick. You see on your screen 3:31 to go till halftime. Boy, what a touchdown and some scoring would do for these guys. And Bortolini now 25 carries, 170. And oh, by the way, all 4 touchdowns for Forest Park here today.
Get the mouth guard in, get ready to go again.
And Lawson this time will perform his duties from under center. The Smith brothers behind him. And they're going to give to Isaiah Smith. Not much there. Make it less than not much, as that's another loss of a yard on the play.
And his big number 67, Tyler Peltema, able to get his paw out there and grab some jersey and haul him down. There's an interesting little battle in the line. You talk about Peltema being 6'3", 275. The center for the Shamrocks, Jeff Davlin, 6'2", 160.
And a sophomore.
And a sophomore. So to say the difference is huge would be an understatement.
So here we are with Lawson ducking in under center again. A lot of ground to cover, and he's going to do a quarterback designed run that's going to get him not much. As coming over defensively for the for the Trojans, guess who? Connor Bortolini now on the defensive side of things as well.
Tommy Showers did a nice job holding off his block. That was being done by Will Simon. As you can see, the rushing statistics
staggering.
Not getting any better for the Shamrocks.
255 to 6 is remarkable, to say the least. So 3rd down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Shamrocks need to get to midfield, really, to get that first down. So Lawson will again operate under center with the Smith brothers behind him. And they're going to fake to both of them. Here comes pressure, and all Lawson can do is just get rid of that football as he got buried. Jumping through the line in a hurry, Tommy Showers once again, and he's put pressure on the quarterback pretty much all day long.
He is getting open looks. He's not being touched by anybody. And again, in 8-man football, you have to figure on leaving one person available for the person with the ball to miss. And right now, Portland St. Patrick's having trouble figuring out where the rush is coming from.
Colin Cook to kick this one away. Riley Hendrickson is back in coverage here for Forest Park. Pass back, a very good one, and a wobbly end-over-end kick that Hendrickson's got a fair catch to 35-yard line. Had some room to move and run upfield, decided better of it as he had some coverage. Will Simon coming right down on top of him. And with 2:41 to go, it has been the Connor Bortolini show offensively here for Forest Park as they lead 28 to 6.
As the rest of the Trojans get back on the field to see if they can get another drive in before the half.
Well, they've had 3 out of 4, make that 4 out of 5 successful ones so far. Have the Forest Park Trojans. Bortolini back for the direct snap once again. Right side of the line he goes, bursting through, and he's got 4 or 5 more out to the 40-yard line. Again, nothing too crazy, nothing really complicated. They line up, you know what's coming.
Hat on hat.
And they challenge you to stop it. 41-yard line, make that 39-yard line of their own for Forest Park.
The trick isn't just to block a player, but to get the right angle. And this is one-on-one blocking, and they're just angling the person the right way to make those holes.
We're going to be under 2 minutes here before you know it as Bortolini with a direct snap again. Kind of shuffled his feet and lost a little bit of his momentum because of that, Mike. Still forward yards of about 3 or 4 more. Trojans are going to have 3rd down and short, and timeout for a Shamrock player who is slightly shaken up. Now they're going to get him out of there. That stops the clock with 2 minutes to go.
Oh, I think they just wanted to call. Oh.
Yeah, they're going to get
2.
They're going to get Simon off the field here. Now remember, Forest Park with 2 minutes to go does have the 2 timeouts.
Well, I'm sure they'll run to get the first down and hopefully call 2 plays in the huddle.
Well, they're going to run because they haven't thrown yet today. Nor do I expect them to here. But that's just it. When you least expect it.
Oh, guess what? The quarterback just showed up.
Well, there you go. So Pelton is going to stop in. And he'll duck in under center for the first time since the first quarter and pitch it now to Ropiak. Upfield he goes, and that's going to be a Crystal Falls Forest Park touchdown. Ropiak got through the line and sprung it. And that is a 58-yard touchdown run. And Ropiak is in, and the floodgates are open here in Marquette this afternoon.
There is one player down on the field for the Trojans, but they have definitely broken this game wide open.
Take a look at the pitch right here and coming right into your living room.
Nice block. Breaks a tackle. Lots of turf.
And so Pete Ropiak makes it a 34-6 advantage here for Forest Park.
They're helping Hal Honig off the field.
That's big. They've been doing very well on that offensive line.
And
as
he
we
is the
saw,
center.
as we saw earlier, injuries in key positions can switch ball games around in a real hurry. 34-6. With the 2-point conversion try, Mike would make it a 30-point advantage. And so the 2-point conversion try on the way here as definite concern on the faces of the Shamrock coaching staff. Forest Park got their first 2-2-point conversions, have yet to get one since. Ropiak in the backfield, they pitch to him, why not, straight ahead, and he falls into the end zone. 2-point conversion try is good. And Forest Park, 36-6. Over Portland St. Patrick here in our Division II 8-man championship game. 3 plays, 65 yards. Ropiak from 59 yards officially.
And he should be over 100 yards by now. Bordolini's probably
closer to 2. So now's where coaching comes into play. Now's where you got to keep kids focused. Now's where you got to keep kids working. Now's where you got to keep kids fighting despite how difficult that can be. And that's the one thing you got to love about coaches at this level. Hardly any of them ever stop coaching just because the scoreboard says something you don't like.
correct.
However,
You see that in basketball all the time.
it is a tall order here now for Portland St. Patrick. As Forest Park has opened it up 36-6. They will kick off again, will the Trojans. And Robards is going to have a sore right leg from all the action he's had.
Yes, he will.
A little shorter run up this time.
Shorter kick.
And he's going to still blast this one to the sideline, and that is landing out of bounds. And so no return. And with 1:26 remaining here in the half.
I'll vote that was intentional.
Oh, I'm not even going to open that for discussion. But for the Shamrocks, this is where you got to get something done.
Oh, they're going to make him kick it again.
Huh. You would think they would take the field position. Maybe they want to get the return. Something to get a little spark.
Well, in that case, you squib kick it. Let the
Well,
turf.
either way, you got to back it up 5 yards.
Yeah, let the turf have some fun.
As you see, Mark Delangelo, the official right there, backing it up 5 more yards. So when Robards comes to kick for college, that's where he'll be kicking from the 40. Or 35, rather, I should say. But it has certainly quieted down
Yeah, it's
here
very,
in the Superior Dome.
It's very quiet in here.
Well, now Robards is going to have to kick this one deep. And so after all of that, he will approach the ball on the run-up, and he's going to pop this one high in the air. It'll be Schneider at the 20. And he's going to give this off here to the running back, the end man Cook. And he's going to get to about the 36-yard line, and that's about it. And that's where the Shamrocks will take over in a 30-point hole here in Marquette this afternoon.
Nice tackle by, I believe, Calvin Post.
As he got hit, upended, and spun around quite nicely.
Little help there from 52 Noah Gilner.
Play clock in motion here with a $1:19 to go till halftime. And Forest Park It's been all Trojans here on the Superior Dome carpet, I should say. And out of the shotgun is Lawson, quarterback designed run to the left-hand side. Trying to move upfield, cuts back. He's going to be shy of a first down, but good positive yards of 9 right there for their junior quarterback, Tanner Lawson.
Had a number of blockers in front of him. Forest Park actually did a nice job keeping that to 9 yards. He should have made more.
Kept the ball inbounds. They still have 2 timeouts to the Shamrocks, but really no inclination they're going to use these. As you get another look at this one, we're letting his blockers do their things upfield. And Lawson with a really, really nice run. He'll be out of the shotgun this time with everyone split to the right-hand side. Drops back. Here comes pressure again. Guns it over the middle. Has a man there and incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Simon looked like he was going to be open for a moment. Want to take a guess who was back on coverage again? Connor Bortolini. Yeah, he's been everywhere. I said earlier, kind of the Swiss Army knife for this Forest Park team. And now it's 3rd down and short. Just 3rd and 1 for the Shamrocks, however, so they can maybe get this one with 37 seconds to go. Now 35 seconds to go. That clock stopped on the incompletion.
Yeah, it was a nice throw by Lawson, but the coverage was too
right
good.
there. Lawson will stack the deck here to the left-hand side. Shotgun formation one more time. And the pressure came across, and now they're going to do an option and try to throw it back to the quarterback, just not there, and that's going to have to be intentional grounding.
Yes. And Thomas Rao agrees with you totally.
So they handed it to Simon. I think they were trying to do a throwback to the quarterback here on the near side, and Simon threw the football basically into the Forest Park bench. And that'll be intentional grounding, and not only is it the penalty, but it's loss of down, so that's going to bring up 4th down.
I agree with you. I thought he was going to throw it back to the quarterback, who was politely standing there wide open. But the rush did not allow that to happen.
It's a spot foul as well, so it's a big penalty here against the Shamrocks, as that's going to bring up 4th down and about 15. As the Shamrocks do not have to kick the football, I don't think. There was 29 on the clock when they restarted. They do 25-second game play clock, so they will have to kick this one away. And Hendrickson staying up close, like they may fake it, and he's just going to let it kick it over his head. Last time we did this, we saw a huge Shamrock bounce. Not so much this time, as they're going to down it right inside the 35-yard line, and they'll let the clock roll and roll. And do they blow the play dead? I've never seen this before. And finally, with 1 second now, no time on the clock, the officials blow the play dead. My goodness. All Forest Park in that first half of play. They will enjoy a 30-point lead into halftime. My goodness. Connor Bortolini and company. And the red and black from Crystal Falls, happy with this one. Forest Park starting to roll here in our Division II 8-man. Do the Shamrocks have an answer? We'll find out in just a moment. Division II championship game continues on Fox Sports Detroit.
Don't just think of it as half off late night apps at Applebee's. It's half off the after party, half off the first date, half off girls' night. Late night half price apps, only at Applebee's.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
just think of it as half off late night apps at Applebee's. It's half off the after party, half off the first date, half off girls' night. Late night half-priced apps, only at Applebee's.
"36-6, the Trojans from Forest Park, big in the first half of this football game. The marching band out on the field. Do the Shamrocks have an answer? We will find out soon. 8-man high school football here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Today we'd like to introduce you to the MHSA's Student Advisory Council. The Student Advisory Council is a group of 16 student athletes from MHSA member schools which meets throughout the year and acts as the voice of Michigan's student athletes. In addition to serving as a sounding board for the MHSA staff and representative council, Student Advisory Council members assist in the planning and execution of student leadership events, such as captain's clinics, sportsmanship summits, and the Battle of the Fans. Council members have helped develop leadership training materials and videos which have been used nationally, and work with Michigan State University's Institute for the Study of Youth Sports on issues impacting high school sports. They also assist with trophy and medal presentations at MHSA tournaments, sometimes after actually playing in a championship game. If you want to learn more about the Student Advisory Council, visit the MHSA website.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Eight-man Division II championship game from Marquette shows Forest Park out to a 30-point lead. An excellent resource is the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Information to raise your health IQ on everything from concussions to heat and hydration to nutrition, and much, much more is available. It's the hub dedicated to assisting schools in providing a healthy participation environment for a student athlete. To get there, click Health and Safety from the homepage of the MHSAA website. It is the Division II championship. We'll continue in a moment here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Today we'd like to talk about MHSAA concussion protocols and an insurance program that the association provides for unpaid bills following a concussion. First, game officials have no role in determining whether or not an athlete has sustained a concussion. All the official can do is advise the head coach of the possible injury. School personnel, which have the ultimate responsibility for the child, make the determination to remove the player from the playing surface and, if necessary, from further activity. A student athlete removed and withheld from the rest of a contest may not return to play that day and is required to have an unconditional medical release to return after that. And for those families who have unpaid medical bills for concussions occurring during a school practice or competition, the MHSAA offers gap insurance, up to $25,000 after personal and school coverage is exhausted. Find out more about concussion resources on our website at mhsaa.com.
This is the Superior Dome on the campus at Northern Michigan University in Marquette, where Forest Park leads Portland St. Patrick 36-6. As long as we have these games, we'll always need officials, people staying involved in sports, willing to work hard, and they're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, and you just have to whistle. Forest Park up big. Back to Marquette in a moment here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Today we're going to introduce you to the MHSAA's Coaches Advancement Program. 30 years ago, the MHSAA began its first coaches education program to address the large influx of non-faculty coaches directing educational athletic teams. Today, the Coaches Advancement Program, or CAP, has grown into one of the nation's top and first face-to-face educational program geared to assist coaches in their growth and development. CAP gives coaches everything except the X's and O's of their sport, dealing with the practical and philosophical issues of coaching high school sports. Over 3,000 individuals annually attend CAP training sessions, most receiving beginning and intermediate certifications studying numerous topics. But a growing number stay in the program to earn advanced certification and study not just the basics, but current issues affecting educational athletics. If you want to learn more about the Coaches Advancement Program, visit the MHSAA website.
Go, go, go!
Forest Park leading Portland St. Patrick by a count of 36-6 alongside Mike Ludlam. Mark Evans, glad you could join us here from the Superior Dome in Marquette. Things have got to turn around wearing green in that locker room. I'm sure a lot was said and a lot was told to these boys because I've not seen numbers like this be such a direct reflection on a game. 36-6 in the scoreboard, and look at everything else here, Mike.
Yep, 320 yards, no passing attempts at all for Forest Park. 65 total yards for the Shamrocks. Trojans have run 39 plays. St. Patrick has run 21. The time of possession, 21:02 for the Trojans, 10:38 for the Shamrocks. The numbers don't lie.
It'll be the Shamrocks to get the football to start this third quarter here, as Robarge has it on the tee one more time here for the Trojans, and he'll swing that right leg and blast this one to the far side and again to the sideline. And did it go out of bounds? Yes, it did, but not by much.
No, that was almost a coffin corner kickoff in reverse.
So the Shamrocks, who last time Forest Park kicked the ball out of bounds, made him kick it again. This time may very well just take the football in the field position this time. Or are we going to make him kick it again? They'll spot the football at the 35-yard line, so that's where they'll take over. Really
I'm sorry, Mark, there's not much to say right now.
Exactly where I was going.
Portland St. Patrick needs a drive to get some confidence.
Well, they just need something positive to happen. Even if you don't get down and get a score, how about some first downs? They're 0 for 3 on third down. And precious few first downs even in this ballgame. That opening drive was fantastic. Went down, got the score, missed the two-point conversion try, and since then, Forest Park hit the ignition switch and took off running. Here is Smith getting maybe to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Smith not finding any running room today. Neither is his brother Ned. Isaiah the senior, Ned the sophomore, and there's just been no running room at all. Gain of officially a yard on the play here for the Shamrocks.
Tommy Showers part of the tackling committee for the Trojans on that one.
And he has been in on a lot of plays in this ball game for Forest Park defensively. Second down and long. The Shamrocks have heard that a lot here in the Superior Dome today, as they moved it to the 37-yard line of their own. So Tanner Lawson ducks in under center this time. Give to the second man of the pile, and that's going nowhere here is Paul Cook, and it's all he could do to hold on to the football.
Because 6'3", 275-pound Tyler Peltma made sure he was going to get a seat on the carpet.
So just underway here in the second half, and unfortunately for the Shamrocks, we're picking up the second half right where we left off in the first half, with Forest Park playing very, very strong defensively as well. Third down and long, 3rd and 11 they'll call it, as they backed it up to the 33-yard line. They need the 45 right on the nose. Lawson looking across. He's got a man on the swing pass out of the backfield. That's Will Simon, but that's going to be well short. And Simon looks like he landed funny on that football. He's a little slow to get up.
Connor Bordolini with the tackle for Forest Park.
So that's going to bring it back to the original line of scrimmage, bring up 4th down and 10. And if you're the Shamrocks, boy, you hate to have to kick this one away, but you really don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, Smith losing his footing after he caught the football, almost fumbled the football as he was being tackled by Bortolini.
And they will kick it away. And so dropping back, Riley Hendrickson has yet to return a kick. He's received 3 of them so far. And here comes the pressure and almost blocked. The punter does a nice job of trying to sell it, but the referee keeps the flag in the pocket. As actually the rusher for Forest Park, Mike, I thought did a nice job of trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, it was Ropiak there, and I'm surprised he even tried to block the punt that much.
Actually, he could have taken it right off the punter's foot. Watch this. Ropiak overran the play.
He overran it. He could, otherwise, it had kicked him right in the face.
That's about the only thing we haven't seen is a blocked punt in this one here for Forest Park. So they'll take over the football. And we do have a quarterback sighting, Tommy Peltema under center. And they're going to pitch to Ropiak. He scored on a very similar play last time out with the football, and he wants to do it again. Cuts back against the grain. Look out. Peter Ropiak, can he do it on the first play for Forest Park? Yes, he can. Touchdown Trojans. And that makes it a 36-point lead with the 2-point conversion try coming up next.
56 yards on the scoring play. And Forest Park is about ready to break out its dancing shoes.
The defender there not taking the best of angles. Ropiak saw that. And Weller trying to track him down, couldn't get to him. 42-6 now, and here comes the 2-point conversion try. Pitch, why not? Back to Bortolini. Not there this time. 42-6, however, does create an extra problem now for Portland St. Patrick.
They continuously,
as they will continue to wind the clock.
Once we get going.
Yeah, once we kick off, it's a mercy rule that's been in place for a long time. And it's not something you prepare for in a championship game.
No, not at all.
But I think that shows just how well-oiled the Trojans have been. Not much of a scoring drive. It was a scoring play. One of them, 56 yards. And Ropiak once again. So Bortolini with the early scoring, and now back-to-back for Pete Ropiak. And Crystal Falls, Forest Park, my goodness. A 42-6 lead here in the Division II championship game. So instructions again here for Portland St. Patrick. Long way from home. And I fear that the Upper Peninsula will not be a fond memory for these kids. The kids from the UP loving it on the far sideline.
They do have, most of them, I won't say all of them, but most of them do have their striped socks on.
Now, for those that aren't familiar with the Forest Park tradition, Mike, you go right ahead.
They wear black and white striped socks. And not much to say about it, and it works. At least they feel it does.
Well, it's worked so far today. As Robar is going to kick off another one here for the Trojans.
Who's the second string kicker? Because I think Robarge wants somebody else to do this.
So he will approach and just bomb this one right down the middle and over the top of everybody, and that's going to be in the end zone and a touchback. As Schneider just kind of helplessly watched that one fly over his head. So Robarge with a smaller run up on this one. Actually bombed that one to land at the 5, and then into the end zone it went. So a little conversation here on the Shamrock sideline. The clock is running as we're down to 9:10 to go here. Running clock situation here for the football games. The Trojans have opened up a big lead, 36 points on the Shamrocks. And yes, there is a crowd in here. It just doesn't seem like it right now. As the Shamrocks have it at their own 20-yard line. And it'll be Lawson to run. Quarterback sprint to his left side, and he's going to lose 5 yards.
Receiver did not get his block in Connor Bortolini, and any hopes of that play being positive were dashed at that point.
So the Shamrocks going in the wrong direction right now. They'll spot it right at the 20-yard line. Or the 15-yard line, I stand corrected. The original play was at the 20.
But you notice they're still coaching. Both
absolutely. Absolutely. This one, you know, you look at the scoreboard and you realize that, you know, there's still 8 minutes to go in this quarter, another quarter after that. You wait for good things to happen, and what's happening here. Whistles blow. And a timeout is going to be called by Forest Park. Oddly enough, and that'll stop the clock. So right at the 8-minute mark here of this third quarter.
Well, I was talking to Forest Park Athletic Director Bill Santilli at halftime, and one of the things he mentioned, and rightfully so, the offensive line has done a tremendous job in this ball game. Hal Honig, Ben Gendron, Robert Ponchod, whoever they've had up there, they have done the job and made explosive and huge holes for those backs to run.
And it's a valid point, because we lose sight of that a lot of times because we're focusing so much on who's carrying the football. How did they get that great carry? And you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive lines in both the games that we've seen here in the Superior Dome. As take a look at Pete Ropiak now, 13 carries and even 2 bills for a couple of touchdowns. And his day probably isn't over yet, as we've got a lot of football left to be played here, as we're only at 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
But the line has just done its job.
And the question comes, you know, you got to keep your foot on the gas if you're the Forest Park Trojans, but at the same time, at what point do you?
Well, the problem is they have so many,
fall down.
They have so many players that are young that are already playing for Forest Park. I mean, the quarterback's a sophomore.
Spread look here for the Shamrocks here. And now they're going to send everybody in motion back to a tight formation to bring the quarterback in under center. Play is set and ready to go. And Lawson dropping back. He has time this time, and out of the flat, they've got the receiver open right side. That's Colin Cook. Positive yardage in a game back to the original line of scrimmage, about 5 or 6.
Would have been more, but I think he lost his footing. As he
We've seen a lot of that here this evening. Now, this turf here in the Dome is fairly new, and with the cleats on the shoes, they should work fairly well. Looks like he stepped on the side of his shoe, actually. And it shot out from underneath him around 3rd down and long. So the play comes in from the sideline, and Shamrocks really with no sense of urgency right now, Mike.
Just want to
try and get the play in and try and get positive yardage.
Yes.
And so they'll crack the huddle and line things up, and now go reverse from the last time they were there, and they draw the offside by doing that.
Robarge said, that's long enough. I'll chase the quarterback.
So they started in the tight formation, went to their spread formation, and now break here for the Shamrocks, a well-needed and deserved one, and they get a 5-yard freebie. Wind the clock, however, 3rd down and 5. Do that again, and we'll see what happens. But it's an interesting play set, because they either start narrow and go wide, or go wide and back to narrow, and Robarge is standing, oops.
Oh, darn.
I'll be deleting that from the telecast. So here we go, 3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable here for the Shamrocks, who spread it out wide. Now they may stay this way. And they will, dropping back. Here's Lawson looking up the far sideline, overshot everybody. Had a man open on a go pattern for just a moment. That was Colin Cook. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5, and Shamrocks again deep in their own territory. Don't want to give the Trojans any more of an advantage than they would already have. And I would guess going to kick this one away.
Decent coverage by Riley Hendrickson, and just the ball was overthrown and really didn't give Cook a chance to catch the ball.
So 4th and 5 here for St. Patrick. As if you're just turning on your television, that's not a typo. It has been all Forest Park at 42-6. Clock continues to roll in a running clock situation, so despite the incompletion, the clock will continue to spin. So the Shamrocks will drop back to kick. Forest Park going to stay up on the line like they might run a fake, and it is 4th and 5. But they're going to kick this one away. Not the greatest kick, kind of a wobbling kick that's going to bounce at midfield, take a bit of a St. Patrick bounce, and spin out of bounds at 40, 41-yard line. So Forest Park, their last 2 plays have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, you have to stop the clock and change your possession.
So they stop the clock on the change of possession, and we'll catch our breath. Forest Park big in the Superior Dome on Fox Sports Detroit. Forest Park, big here in the Superior Dome, 42-6 lead over Portland St. Patrick here in the Division II 8-man championship game. Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. 5:36 remains here in the third quarter, and when we start the clock, it will not stop, Mike, unless, well, an injury will stop the clock, change of possession will stop the clock, but that is it. It is 35 points or more. It's basically a mercy rule that was put into effect.
Right, and for the safety of the players and just to keep things on a smooth pace.
Inside handoff, and the Forest Park Trojans doing everything they can to keep this on the ground and keep that clock rolling. Evan Hedke, first time we've talked about him offensively here in the football game. Not a bad gain, actually, 3 yards for him. Right at the 45-yard line for the Trojans. And they break the huddle. And they'll bring the quarterback in, Peltema, who tosses into the backfield, and there's Bordolini. And he'll cut upfield for another good gain, and he picks up just shy of the first down, right out to midfield. And Bordolini, it's interesting, he doesn't take a direct handoff at any time during the ball game. It's either a direct snap back to him or a toss, one of the two.
It works, that's what matters. I do want to say something about Portland St. Patrick. While they're not having a great day, their sportsmanship has been very, very good. Picking up players,
oh, yeah,
patting them on the helmet.
Well, we talked about that earlier. That's one of the greatest things about this level of athletics. You know, the kids get it. You know, they get it, and they're here to play and have fun. Yeah, you want to win, but at the same time, you step onto the field, and you know the kids wearing the other color uniform are in the exact same position you're in. As you see, another example of it right there is number 7, Paul Cook, helping the ball carrier Bordolini back up.
It was good enough to get a first down.
And so we're going to see some different numbers and hear some different names, I'm sure, here as we get into the latter stages of this ball game, with the coaching staffs trying to get the kids, all of them, in to say, yeah, I had a chance to play in that state championship game. And that's for both teams.
Yes.
And they're going to pitch. Straight back it goes. Look out. Here he goes again. Upfield. Ropiak won't be caught. Touchdown, Forest Park.
He has a motor.
Ropiak, and again, what do? Take the handoff and fall down? Absolutely not. And he blew through the line, and no one could catch him. And it's now 48-6, and a stiff arm right there to clear himself off at traffic. And right to the corner of the end zone he goes. And a little shell shock wearing green right now, as it is a 42-point lead. I formation on the 2-point conversion try. Why not? Pitch into the backfield, and they dig. I don't believe they got there. Nope. Incomplete 2-point conversion try. But again, Forest Park gets good field position, makes the most of it. And they lead it by a count of 48-6. Our Division II 8-player championship game continues from Marquette in mere moments, right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Hey, it's my student A. Time to go to college. How can I get started? Want to gain more knowledge, but I can't pay out of pocket. Call my student A today, and we can get you on the way. If you really want it, all you gotta do is make a way. Looking for a scholarship, you trying to land some grants? Visit my student A, then we can help with that. My student A has the knowledge and tools to make college accessible, affordable for you.
You're up. Yeah. Sure, when he starts his motion, baseball and stuff like that, then I'm good with it. What are we doing tonight? Say it. Molding young men.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Back at the Superior Dome on the campus of Northern Michigan University, Forest Park, another touchdown, a 48-6 lead over the Portland St. Patrick Shamrocks. You may think you can be the referee from the stands or the sidelines, but how much do you really know? Check out the Be the Referee page on the MHSAA website for a weekly dose of some of the calls that are really made, rule differences between high school and college or pro sports, and other officiating topics. Gain a better understanding of the art of officiating. Visit the Be the Referee page of the MHSAA website.
Al, how would you like to wear the stripes? There's your chance to be like that gentleman there, Mark Delangelo. 4 plays, 60 yards, and another one for Ropiak from 46 yards away. And the Shamrocks back to field the kick from Robarge once again. And there's 3:51 to go, and if you are just joining us, that score does give us a running play clock. So even if a player runs out of bounds, clock stays in motion. Incomplete pass, the clock will stay in motion. Only time it stops is a score and the change of possession. As Robarge lines it up. And he will turn and bombs away. Pop this one up high in the air. It'll be Schneider at the 15. And he keeps it this time. Schneider looking up the left sideline. Got away from 1, 2, 3, and out to the 32-yard line. Field position has not been bad for the Shamrocks in this ballgame, Mike. It's just been a lack of being able to get anything done offensively so far.
No, just have not been able to solve the Forest Park defense, who has been able to knife through on a number of occasions and bring down carriers for negative yardage.
You see some of the kids having fun. Those are some kids having fun too right now. 48-6 Forest Park with the lead. Clock is in motion, 3:15 to go. Shamrocks approach the line here, just outside the 30-yard line of their own. Tough sledding here for St. Patrick here in this ball game. And they'll pitch. Far sideline, Smith cuts upfield, got wrapped up after a gain of about a yard or two. And it's been that kind of a ball game. It looks like the runner's going to get open for some yardage there for the Shamrocks, and all of a sudden Forest Park is right there to slam the door shut.
It just disappears in such a fast manner. That time Nathan Johnson turns the play back inside. Not only does that, but makes the tackle with Ropiak helping out.
So it is a 2nd down and 8 here for St. Patrick. Play is in from the sideline. The Shamrocks set and ready to go. Have not had a first down yet in this half. And dropping back across the middle, man open, grab, nice grab there at midfield, and finally into Forest Park territory they go. Colin Cook on that one. He stabs it with both hands. And the Shamrocks are in business across the 45-yard line of the Trojans now.
Solid throw there by quarterback Lawson. Had some time to throw, not a whole lot, but a nice stretch of the arms by Colin Cook to make the catch.
And again, you saw a quarterback under duress because he took a big shot, legal shot, but he took a hard hit right as he let that ball go. Shamrocks quickly to the line of scrimmage, minute 48 and counting here in this rapidly moving third quarter. And they set the play. And they give inside Isaiah Smith, 35-yard line. And moving the football now, the Shamrocks in a gain of 7.
Shamrock faithful getting back into it now.
Well, they've not had a lot to cheer about since the opening drive when the Shamrocks went down the length of the field and scored. As you get a look at a good hard run by Smith here. And he had to fight his way through 4 or 5 white jerseys to get what he got, which was a gain of 6.5. And the Smith brothers in the backfield again. This time it's Ned Smith, and he cuts to his left. Got an opening. Trying to get up the sideline. Can he outrun him? No, down to the 5-yard line. Bordolini, nope. That would be Henriksen making the tackle. And the clock continues to roll, but it'll be 1st and goal for the Shamrocks, and a nice-looking answer from them.
Good blocking at the point, breaking
and that
the
shows
tackle.
You what Ned Smith can do if he gets open.
Yeah, he broke a tackle of Bordolini's and just enough of a shoestring to make the tackle.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 5. Here come the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Isaiah Smith, fullback, and Smith is the tailback. Fullback through, Isaiah Smith to the goal line. Can they stop him? Yes, but not until he gets to the 1. And the way this clock is rolling, that may very well be the last play of this third quarter. Both teams, I stand corrected, Shamrocks have 3 timeout. The Trojans have 2. We'll have 5 seconds on the clock, and they get the play off. Lawson climbs in. 2 seconds to go. They give Smith, end zone, touchdown, Shamrocks. As time expires here in the third quarter, we'll keep it here because the 2-point conversion try will still come down on that east end of the field here. But what a nice answer here from some kids that didn't have a whole lot of life a little while ago.
No, as you can see, they're still maintaining their blocks, and Smith bowls over Hendrickson into the end zone.
Nice job of coaching by the Shamrock staff to keep these kids in the game. They'll line up to kick the extra point. Jeff Davlin, wearing number 57, to do the honors here. Pass back is a good one. Pressure is on, and he blasted to the uprights and hooked it to the left. And that will stay at 48-12 is our count here in the Superior Dome. Fourth quarter is yours between the Trojans and the Shamrocks when we come back to Marquette. You're watching 8-Man football on Fox UP. St. Patrick, the Shamrocks getting back on the board. They trail 48-12 here as we head into the fourth quarter in Marquette. Today's games kick off football week in Michigan. Watch your favorite high school, college, and pro Michigan teams compete during one exciting Thanksgiving week. It's only on the Fox family of networks. A big, big weekend of football, and those kids right there from the Forest Park District riding high, Mike Ludlam, with a big lead. And you were talking a little bit about their conference as we went to break, and it's an interesting story, these Forest Park Trojans, because it didn't start out, the season didn't start out with anybody thinking they'd wind up here.
Certainly. Now, recap the scoring drive quickly. 6 plays, 69 yards, and a 1-yard touchdown by Smith. Yeah, Forest Park lost to Rapid River 38-36 in the opener, and then in week 3, Stevenson took it to Forest Park 42-16. So they were 1-2 with a narrow victory over the defending state champions, the 2-time defending state champions from North Central. But as we mentioned, Ropiak was able to get back into the lineup, and everything seemed to go pretty well. And speaking of not going well,
they tried the onside kick, and Will Simon tried the toe drag. And what happens there is the kicker usually is the one to recover that type of onside kick, and he just barely grazed the football, and that's going to give Forest Park great field position at about the 45-yard line of the Shamrocks.
But the Western 8 Conference certainly made Forest Park a team that would keep improving all season, and they were not all easy games. They had a few blowouts, certainly, but the momentum started to pick up, and then by the time they finished the regular season with a victory over North Dickinson, 62-24, and they were tested in their playoff games. They had to beat North Central again, 20-6, but they took care of Engadine in fine fashion and did enough to get past Pickford. And this is certainly a team that's been building toward the end of the season.
Well, they built themselves into position to be the Division II 8-man champion. They've got 11 minutes and 10 seconds to get there. Ropiak one more time, and he is knocked down after a small gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Again, if you're just joining or you're not familiar with high school football, the clock is moving. Despite the fact that the pass will be incomplete, the player goes out of bounds. 35 or more point lead, the clock will run. It stops for a timeout, an injury, a penalty, or a score. Lead is reduced to less than 35. We'll also do that. The timing reverts to normal process if the Shamrocks can come back in this one and keep it less than 35. Right now it's for safety more than anything else, as the Shamrocks have shown that running clock wasn't a detriment to them. It was a nice drive. They went right down the field and scored to make it where it is at 48-12 as the Forest Park Trojans now, Mike, starting to spread the love around out of the backfield a little bit.
Yes, Evan Hedke with the handoff there, gaining a few yards to make it 3rd and about 3.
So a big week of football here. Of course, all the 11-man games from Ford Field coming up later on. Lions in action here on Thanksgiving. Gotta love this time of year.
Oh, some Michigan-Ohio State game.
I heard of that one. Michigan trying to bounce back after their loss to Wisconsin. So the quarterback Peltema under center now.
He's just waiting for the back,
with
Judge.
that big lead. And they're going to give Ropiak again. Bust through. Brandon to the official, and that's about the only thing that slowed him down. He doesn't run into the official. No one catches him. But Ropiak is upfield, and one of the Shamrocks slow to get up. That's number 10, Colin Cook, who actually took Ropiak for a bit of a ride. And he is shaken up, and he is going to come out of the ballgame. As you take a look at Ropiak right here, hello, we still want you to consider becoming an official despite that. And Cook more or less got landed on, I think, by Ropiak, which is not nothing. So 9-10 and counting, and here come the Trojans once again with that big lead and looking to add on some more. Peltema, just a sophomore. And they wait. And they wait. Are they waiting for the play clock?
No, they're waiting for the back, Judge to put his arm up.
All right, so here's Bordolini. First time we've talked about him in a little bit. Up scampering forward for a gain of about 5 yards. If you're just joining us, Connor Bordolini had a tremendous first half of play. Direct snaps to him was the initial drive for Forest Park. 55 yards, they took it in, all on direct snaps to Bordolini. They made it 8-0. St. Patrick came right back down, made it 8-6. But since that point, it has been a dominant performance by the Trojans from Forest Park. I formation here as Peltema again will duck in with 8:20 to go here in the ball game. And they just wait, trying to burn off as much of this clock as they possibly can. And the hand goes up from the referee to signify there's just seconds left before the play clock. And here's Bordolini again, scooting upfield. He's down to the 5, just inside the 5, and that'll be first and goal for the Trojans of Forest Park.
Noticing, we talked about the offensive line a little while ago. I just noticed a name that I should have mentioned for Forest Park. Jacob Peterson also doing a fine job moving people out of the way for his running backs.
First and goal from the 5. Forest Park looking to add on here in this Division II 8-player championship game. We're in the Superior Dome in Marquette. That checkerboard end zone belongs to the Northern Michigan Wildcats. This is their home in the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, one of the most spectacular indoor facilities you're ever going to see. If you ever get a chance to come to Marquette, make it a point to come see this building. As the Trojans, did they get there? No official word yet. They'll say no. Bordolini did not get in.
It was very close.
I mean, you don't get much closer than this, but somehow he got cut off right there at the goal line.
I was going to say, Isaiah Smith
stood him up and drove him back. Nice play.
Able to get some leverage and push him back away from the goal line.
Second down now and goal. 482 rushing yards today. That's an 8-player state record. The previous record was 469. So a little history in this ball game here, and you and I got to see it firsthand, my friend. And they will officially maybe get one more here. They needed to get the score, and it is Henriksen stepping in and not getting in. So third down and goal, and actually they lost a yard. So that graphic was premature. Now we got to start subtracting down there.
Oh, and that rushing record was set by North Central last year against Deckerville.
So there you go. Records, as they say, sir, are meant to be broken.
Rushing touchdown records also in danger.
Riley Hendrickson is now the quarterback here for Forest Park. And he is going to give straight through to the line. Touchdown, Trojans. And they add to their scoring here in the football game.
Number 15.
That's Calvin Post. 8 rushing touchdowns today. Well, Mike just touched on this one. The previous record was 7. So all of their scores and all of their plays today. Was it Army not too long ago that won the football game without a single pass?
I would imagine.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Forest Park's going to join them. And the 2-point conversion try does not work. The clock will stop on the score and the change of possession. But we'll be back to a running clock here in mere moments. So Portland St. Patrick gets the score, only to have it answered by the Trojans as they lead it big. Final 6 minutes of our 8-man Division II Player Championship coming up in just a couple of moments here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
It has been all Forest Park here in the Superior Dome in Marquette, 54-12. As you see, they lead Portland. St. Patrick Shamrocks scoring just a little bit ago, only to see the Trojans come back and answer with one of their own. Broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of Fox Sports Detroit and the Michigan High School Athletic Association. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the written consent of Fox Sports Detroit and the MHSAA. 6:02 on the clock. Shamrocks to get the football back here, Mike. And like you said, these kids, they're staying in it. Coaches are staying positive. Difficult to do, but it's been fun to watch the fact that the Shamrock players and coaching staffs, they're all in. They're still rattling away, as evidenced by that touchdown drive not too long ago.
That's right. They want to get as much positive as they can out of this game. I mean, obviously they're not going to win it at this point, but if they can get another touchdown or two.
Well, you take a look at the St. Patrick roster: sophomore, junior, freshman, sophomore, junior. Only a couple of seniors on this roster. This is a team that's going to be back.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, they've figured out how this works, and little hiccup or bump in the road today, but they'll bounce back from this.
Well, you'll be glad to know Forest Park is going to usher out a new kicker, sir. As a matter of fact, so new we don't even have an 88 on our roster. 89. Okay, that we do have. That is.
Oh, Mason Rentola.
Okay. And the lefty will approach and send it downfield. And here come the Shamrocks. Looking for a seam there is Cook. And Paul Cook is going to get out near the 40-yard line. And the clock again will stay in motion. So for the first time since the first ever 8-man championship game, it comes back indoors here in Marquette. Division I game earlier was Central Lakes victory over Deckerville. And Forest Park, long-standing tradition of excellence. We mentioned Bill Santilli earlier, longtime coach at Forest Park, and they are carrying that flag for their program here today as they give to Ned Smith this time, and just not much up the middle, gain of about a yard. And that'll put the Shamrocks second down and long from about their own 40-yard line.
I think a key to what has happened in this game may be the fact that Forest Park's competition in the playoffs on paper seemed to be a lot tougher than the Shamrocks.
44-6 victory, 50-0 victory, 33-14.
Over Kennedy North Huron in the semifinal. I mean, the Shamrocks have really not been tested that much in the postseason until today.
Here comes the rush, and there goes the sack. And they got to Tanner Lawson again for a loss on the play of about 15 yards. And with the 2 or 3 major sacks that we've seen, I'm not sure that St. Patrick has positive rushing yards in this game right now.
Yeah, Ben Gendron able to get through the line, 6'5", 210-pound sophomore.
So third down and officially 16 here for the Shamrocks, and they've seen their fair share of these here this afternoon. Clock will stay in motion as that Forest Park defense, also one of the stars of this show. Shotgun formation for Tanner Lawson. And he'll line it up. He's got a lot of real estate to cover. Swings it here to the near side, almost picked off. And that's why, because the Forest Park defender got there just a little bit early.
In a perfect world, Lawson would have thrown that pass sooner because he was open by a couple yards, but it will work out in this case.
Yeah, Colin Cook got hit just as the ball arrived. And they deemed that the contact, just a little bit early.
Not by much.
But that's the right call.
Yeah, the timing was off on the play, and that worked out to the Shamrocks' benefit.
And the penalty, as you saw in our graphic earlier, does stop the clock. And so with 3:39 remaining, Shamrocks will be up near midfield. It is not an automatic first down on pass interference, so it brings up 3rd down and manageable. Now 3rd and 4 as the Shamrocks will stack the deck to the left-hand side. And Lawson dropping back, looking, guns it across the middle. Got a man open, in and out of the hands of Cook. And the reason that went in and out of the hands was the Forest Park defender right there.
Well, I think that, I'm trying to figure out if that was a 19 or a 15. If it was 19, we'll mention his name, Gabe Scalara.
And you're the one that,
and I'm the one that had it earlier.
Yeah, you're the one that told me how to say that wonderful name.
Scarlasara.
There it is.
Have to say it softer.
So even though the pass was incomplete, the clock will remain running. Under 3 minutes to go. And it'll be 4th down and 4 here for the Shamrocks. And again, trying to get something positive here at the end of this game. As you look and see it, 54-12 Forest Park. Trojans showing blitz. And now it's Lawson around to the left. He'll have the first down and a little bit more as he crosses midfield. It'll be out of bounds. They will keep the clock rolling. The officials signaling to stop the clock, but I think that's more out of habit than anything else. In a running clock scenario, first down doesn't stop the clock. Neither does the player going out of bounds. Both happened there.
just to tell the chain guys to move.
So it will be first down, and the Shamrocks moving the football. Crossing midfield now, and we'll be under 2 minutes to go. Right about 2 minutes when we get this next playoff here. Shamrocks looking shotgun here. Stack the runners to the right-hand side. And Lawson back with a little bit of time. Out of the flat they go, and a reception here to Cook on the near side. And he's swarmed under after a gain of 8-9 yards. And again, you see a lot of handshakes. You see a lot of players helping each other up. You see a lot of pats on the backs from both of these teams. Mike pointed that out earlier, and that's just one of the great things about football at this level.
I mean, the game has been decided, but that doesn't mean that the sportsmanship ends. It should continue.
2nd and 3, 42-yard line comes St. Patrick. Shifting the defense, Forest Park, and they drop it into the backfield, and this is going to be a pass that's going nowhere. It was handed off to Simon. They tried something similar in the first half. That didn't work out either. And that one didn't work out as well. And a timeout's going to be called by the Shamrocks here on 3rd down and 3. First time they did that, Mike, it looked like they were going to do a throwback to the quarterback. This time they had a receiver heading upfield. But Simon just had no room to operate and kind of bobbled the handoff in the first place, so it's kind of doomed from the start.
Well, he couldn't set his feet to throw either. And when you have a pass that's going that far along downfield, you want to get your feet set, but he didn't have that chance.
So they call the timeout. That's their first of the football game with 1:08 to go here in the ball game. And they've got the football at the 42-yard line of Forest Park. And I don't know if we're going to see something unusual out of the ordinary, or if we fake the unusual out of the ordinary and run something traditional.
You know who's probably the happiest today without knowing it? Jason Wythens of North Central. He has the individual rushing record of 352 yards. If Ropiak or Bortolini weren't sharing the carries so much, that record would have been in trouble.
That would have been annihilated a while ago, yeah. Like I said, total rushing yards for Forest Park, 489 at last check. Just an incredible performance from them out of the offensive backfield. So here's your 3rd down play. As they spread the offense, Lawson looking across the middle, man open, caught, first down, and getting set down is Will Simon, who's on the receiving end of the play this time instead of the throwing end. We're under a minute to go here in the Superior Dome.
That had the looks of a hook and lateral, but the receiver on the far side of the field was tightly covered, and it didn't give Cook a chance to try it, if that's what they were doing.
From the 33, here come the Shamrocks. A couple of plays left in this one here from Marquette this afternoon. And dropping back is Lawson. Looking, rolling, has a man on the sideline, caught, and down to the 8-yard line. And hauling that out of the backfield is 34 Isaiah Smith. And a timeout's going to be called here by the Shamrocks. They'll take their second, and why not? You're inching your way ever closer to the end zone.
Ending this game on a positive note.
Absolutely. You gotta love the fight. And Isaiah Smith's had a quiet day, but he comes up with a big play right there for the Shamrocks. Let's take a look. Now, this is tough for a quarterback rolling to his left with a right-handed throw, and this is dropped in there perfectly. Can't cover it much better if you're Forest Park.
No, Mason Rintala was right there, just couldn't get his head turned around.
The plays of the day here by the Shamrocks, and they call the timeout with 26 seconds to go. So some smiles from Forest Park, but some good hard work by the Shamrocks as we hit the home stretch of this one. That clapping you hear is from the St. Patrick faithful underneath. They want their boys in the end zone.
Oh, sure they do. It's been a bit of a frustrating day, but if you can end on it with a touchdown, that makes the bus drive a little bit shorter.
That's a long trip to head back down to south central part of the state. But that getting one there, punching in at the end would certainly make it a lot more palatable. So we crown 2 state champions today and 8 more coming up Thanksgiving weekend with Division 1 through 8 play from Ford Field. But they've moved the 8-man games inside. This is the Superior Dome in Marquette alongside Mike Ludlam, Mark Evans, our Fox Sports Detroit crew. Home stretch of this one, Portland St. Patrick trying to get into the end zone and make a little statement of their own here in this Division 2 8-man final. And they have moved the ball nicely here on this drive. But the story, Forest Park again and the running game. And a late substitution coming in here for the Shamrocks as they'll put Lawson under center now. And drops back, pressure still coming. Lawson looking into the corner of the end zone, picked off, and that'll do it here from Marquette. Stepping in front of it, and a nice play by Josh Logan. And the touchback will put the ball out at the 20-yard line. And one snap later, and this one will be all done. 54-12, Mike, is going to be your final. We didn't see this one coming, but as you talked about, Forest Park is one of these teams that got very, very hot in the second half of the season and kind of found their swagger and their scoring touch.
Just an outstanding effort by Dave Graff and his players today. Take a look, the interception, had it well
Tiptoe
covered.
the line.
And there was no way Tyler Schraubman was going to be able to make that catch.
And we don't even need to snap because they have started the clock. We are down to our final 7 seconds. And I'll be shocked if we do anything but reach across the line of scrimmage
and shake
hands. Absolutely. So the fingers and the hands go in the air. The Forest Park Trojans, 8-man Division II state champions with a statement win. My goodness, 54-12 over the Shamrocks of Portland St. Patrick. So we crowned 2 champions here in the Dome today. Central Lake in the Division I. Division II 8-player champions from the Upper Peninsula from about a 90-minute drive away. The Forest Park Trojans with the victory here tonight. 54-12. Quick recap coming up in just a couple of moments. All part of a big week of football on Fox Sports Detroit.
Today we'd like to talk about local officials associations and their role in high school sports. Local associations are the vehicle through which officials are trained and through which they get assigned to games. Almost every week across the state during the school year, local officials associations meet to discuss games they recently worked and to review rules and mechanics, all in preparation for their upcoming events. Local associations work hard to integrate younger officials into the mix and also spend time up in the stands at a game, evaluating their peers and providing feedback to help them improve. A number of local associations are also active in the community, giving back through Officials for Kids programs at various Children's Miracle Network hospitals. To learn more about local officials associations or to sign up to become a registered high school official, visit the MHSAA website. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Well, there you see the champions of 8-man Division II, the Forest Park Trojans, 54-12 over the Shamrocks from Portland St. Patrick. The number there, pretty convincing. Mike, the numbers elsewhere also are going to be very convincing. Look at this, passing yards, well, none for Forest Park, no surprise there. Rushing yards, that's a record, 482 to 91 for St. Patrick. No turnovers in the ball game. That's good news
No,
from
no,
both
very
sides.
clean
But
that way.
as you can see, Bordolini 197 yards, 200 for Big 13.
Yeah, Ropiak.
Yeah, Ropiak on that one. Get staggered in those numbers there. He started losing names, but the numbers do not lie. 54-12 is the final. Wrap things up from Marquette in just a couple of moments. Your 8-man champions on Fox Sports Detroit.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Well, there's always something special about a championship, Mike, and those kids from Forest Park really earned theirs with a 54-12 win.
Yes, 481 yards of total offense for the Trojans, 169 for Portland St. Patrick. Time of possession about equal, but it's just a matter of gaining the yards.
16 teams will complete the journey to Ford Field this coming Friday and Saturday for the 2017 MHSA 11-player football finals. We invite you to join us on Fox Sports Detroit for all the action. 7 of the 8 championship games will be live on Fox Sports Detroit. Plus, you can also catch all the games live at foxsportsdetroit.com and on Fox Sports Go, all part of Football Week in Michigan. You've been watching high school football on your exclusive home for MHSAA football and basketball championships. Fox Sports Detroit, a production of Fox Sports Detroit and the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Again, 54-12, Forest Park with the victory. For our entire crew and my partner Mike Ludlum and Rush Media, I'm Mark Evans. Have a great, great weekend from all of us here in the UP.